Hi, hi, Wei. I'm Eddie.
嗨，你
Nice to
好，
meet you.
你好
Big fan, big fan. Yeah.
，Thank you。
So, first question I want to ask: in so many ways, the year of the rat has lived up the prediction, bringing with it unprecedented challenge. Why you choose Lego as a medium for this work?
Um, yeah. Well, Lego is a medium, and I always trying to use a new medium, and that means a new language, new vocabulary. And I really wondering why not so many artists using Lego, but rather only like kids, like my son or other kids use it. So I trying to, I think Lego is beautiful. It's the color is very clear, and after you make a design, everybody can make another one exactly the same. It's you know, there's many very interesting quality with Lego.
So, this work in this exhibition have anything related to your work in Bangkok Art Biennale in VACC, the lifeboat work?
The work relates to it is many layers. The zodiac, which is a part of a Chinese tradition, which describes human in terms of different time would have some different kind of collected character or even fate. So it's always interesting to look at how we trying to capture the something impossible into a more understandable way. So that's why I have been dealing with this matter. It's so much related to humanity, and because it defines everybody. So
About the marble sculpture, could you explain the meaning behind this series? What does it mean?
well, I did marbles in the earlier time in Greek or in Roman time. It's all about a monument. Something we think can lasting forever, permanent, and so that has been used in the past. But I feel it's interesting. Many things need to be remembered about our time, and I try to find some vocabularies which relate to the massive modern life and even current situation. And I think that need to be to have this kind of permanency rather just temporary. So yeah, it's kind of ironic work.
Hmm. To pick the ordinary object like this is relate to the concept of ready-made of Marcel Duchamp.
I think in modern practice, everything relate to Duchamp, but Duchamp also relate to clear concept of the Taoism, the Lao Tzu and Oriental Zen thinking. So it's very hard to say what relate to what.
你好，
谢谢。
你好，艾薇薇老师。
Hi, 你好。
My name's Danny. I have one short question for you. Because of the Chinese zodiacs, you say there's always a 庚子年, right? Every 60 years. So my question is, 60 years from now, what do you think the chaos will be in the world?
Well, I hope we still have 60 years. I also hope as human we still can really still can make a judgment at that time.
Okay, so no robots taking over the world or anything like that.
I don't really know. You can see the world developed so dramatically, chaotic, very chaotic, and nobody knows how this human race, the human stories, the thing we feel joy or we feel pain or scared are still would maintain the same way.
Okay, thank you, 谢谢.
Thank you.
Hello.
你好, hi.
你好. My name is Sirima. I have only 2 questions. The first one is, with turmoil happening all over the world, what is the role of art in society?
I think art has functioned since the beginning of human race. When they start to hunt, when they start to find out there's something which beyond their imagination, they would draw something on the rock and make some carve something so they can as jewelry they can put on their neck, or it's always relating to our sense of beauty or something memorable, and also about courage, encourage people to be creative, to have a parallel world of the reality, which is about the imagination and about our dreams. So I think in today, this is obviously it's also make our life more rich and more has more meaning rather than just competition or safetyness or making money, all those on the power. I think but art really give us would be very important for our heart and for our soul to say there's something which can benefit human being.
Thank you. And the second one is, Bangkok Art Biennale is relatively new compared to other such festivals around the world. So what should Thai people expect from Biennale? Yeah, and more expect. Yeah.
I think Thailand is a very important location in Asia, and it's very lively, have a very strong pop culture, and I hope the Biennale would functions to give the people and the city energy in terms of creativity and imagination.
Thank you.
And I hope it can encourage young people to find this joy and yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ni hao. I'm Gay. I have just only one question. So my question is, as a Chinese artist living in another part of the world, so how you define the term motherland?
How do I what?
How you define the
I don't
term?
understand.
How you define the term motherland?
I don't get the question. Can you repeat? Make it.
The question: how do you define the term motherland?
Oh,
as someone living far away.
Living in another part.
Yes, well, that's a heavy question, and And also you ask the wrong person to answer that. Well, it's very difficult for me to answer that because I don't have a homeland. You know, I was being refused when I was born, you know, by my land or my people, you know, at that time. And you know, my father was a poet, but he was exiled. So, and later I went to United States for 12 years. Still, I can really understand what is a foreigner. So if you feel you're foreign, there must be somewhere you're familiar with. That place you may call homeland. But if your homeland is in danger, your life, then, you know, what's supposed to give you protection and give you tolerance can endangers your life. So I'm not very perfect person to answer that question.
So it should be a place that with safe place. It should be a safe place, a safe shelter for you.
I think the normally, because I in past years have do a lot of studies about refugee situation. You know, so many people being pushed out their home, and the reason they've been pushed out is because the safety reason. You know, the bombing and the burning street or the killing field. So unfortunately, in today's world, there's over 70 million refugees or 80 million refugees. So they have no home, and a lot of people they're born as a stateless, and they are still have no place to go.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Amy. First, I have to say that I'm really excited and really glad to have you here. I'm still shaking right now. I have to ask you a question, just one question that I think that your work is changing and altered through like a situation of the world in every time, like when time change, your subject and your interest in everyday situation change. I'm wondering that how has your perspective of the world changed over time?
I think yes, world is changing, but it seems it changes faster and in much larger scale now, and also we can see most established powers, even uncertain, have so much uncertainty about what will happen next, and you know, the big dominant power such as China or US and Europe, and all those nations are facing a great uncertainty. And as an individual, as artists, of course, we living at the moment, and we reflect our own ideas and trying to prove we lived through that time. So we make artworks.
Thank you.
Ah, 艾先生，你好。
你好。
我有一点问题，关于你新作品。How will the end of COVID-19 pandemics about your artwork?
Well, COVID-19 is the main topic for the, you know, in the globally, and I did several works in relating to it. One is we designed the masks, and you know, just put some images on the mask, and selling it on eBay, and we raised about $1.4 million to give to the organizations 100% to give to them. The organizations is Doctor Without Border, Human Rights Watch, and Refugee International. So they all received those money. And also I made a few smaller sculptures. And in the show I have in a gallery called the Tang Gallery, at the same time as Biennale, would have one small work related to it.
What are you currently working on?
What? Currently working on.
Yeah.
I'm still working on some films, and films about the animal, for films about we just finished the films about Hong Kong, and the films about Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh.
谢谢。
谢谢。
Good morning, good afternoon, Weiwei. So my question is very simple. What's your views on contemporary art, the notion itself of contemporary art? It's actually related in my way, in my thoughts to Huang Yongping, who said before that he passed away sadly last year, but he said that looking at his work, we could not see it as contemporary art because contemporary art is actually a Western notion. So I would be very interested in hearing your thoughts about this. Contemporary art, and could we say that you are actually a contemporary artist?
Well, I think we have to have some definition about the activities. And if we call it a contemporary movement, basically it's a Western nation. It's really a notion after the classic movement, which basically reflects the ideologies after the Industrial Revolution. And but to talk about contemporary art, and I still think it's a theoretical discussion rather than just talk about the time. And I would say, yeah, it's a terminology really talk about the contemporary philosophy and the contemporary scientific development, and relate to our contemporary thinking. So definitely there is so-called contemporary art.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samiti. I have one question. You have been labeled an iconoclast, a person who attack belief or institutions. So do you agree with the labels, or how do you feel about this label?
I think in general I agree with it because I can prove it. On my head still have 2 holes there. Once I had surgery and I have this kind of fight with the authority, and there's a lot of blood come out from my head here. I still can feel the scar. So that's evidence.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, hello, hi. My name is Lim Leon Sen, and just have one question about the Bangkok Art Biennale. Talk about this year's theme, the escape routes. Just wonder, what is your interpretation of the theme of the Bangkok Art Biennale this year, especially, given the context of the world pandemic and also the geopolitical situation here?
First, I should congratulate the Thailand have this this opening of this art fair, and I think probably this is the first or among the first art fair really opened because of all others are shut down. It tells something about Thailand has grabbed a very important opportunity to let art speak and to trust the audience and art can flourish in this very dramatic time. So I think that gesture is very most important, and I'm very happy to see that happening now.
Okay, and how about the theme though, the name of the theme, the escape routes? How do you interpret that?
I don't even know the same. I don't know much about the same. Yes.
That's a good one. Okay. I think that's a really good question, a good answer. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us, sir. There's quite a bit of elements of the work here today that we're seeing that sort of draws on events in Hong Kong. How much do current political events in countries around Asia sort of draw your attention, and how much does that sort of focus your work, and how much do current affairs feed into how you're planning to sort of carry on producing art and work?
You know, we all on the same boat. No matter where, the world becomes so small, and you can sense the wave, the wind, you know, the raining, and nobody can escape what happens in Hong Kong or what happens in Thailand or anywhere else. Everybody knows, because thanks for the internet, thanks for the new communication possibilities. And sometimes it directly affects me, my work, because I'm more prepared. Sometimes I'm less prepared. I just have to do some study about it.
And you were one of the artists taking part in the Biennale who sort of signed a letter talking about certain issues going on here, and, you know, protest and freedoms. How much are you following what's happening in Thailand at the moment?
I think Thailand have its own history. You know, they have their own structure. I really respect the young people, the people who is doing the struggle, and but at the same time, I think the struggle itself is a force to push the world and into a better condition. You know, we cannot just protest is not just for protesting. It's really trying to benefit the future of Thailand.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
哎，老师你好，我是
你好。
我是 Linda，River City 就是你现在展览这个地方的总经理我跟唐人的郑你好，总经理我们非常高兴，还有杨洋就坐在我后面，我们非常高兴，我们也很荣幸。So we're very, very honored to have you here in Bangkok. And as you know, River City now has actually an Andy Warhol exhibition. And your exhibition is right next to our Andy Warhol exhibition. And I know you know, you're quite fond of him. And I just want to know how you feel. Because we, on the ground floor, we actually have a big sign saying Ai Weiwei is coming soon, right next to the Andy Warhol picture. So I just wonder how you feel about it.
Take a photo, send to me. And I'm very happy. You know, I can, my show can be next to a person which represents the 20th century's American art. And of course that, you know, I think Andy is a genius, is many years ahead of his time. And he's truly a social media person, but too bad he doesn't have the opportunity as I have. So I think I'm very happy to have this moment to join the show.
Thank you so much. We really hope that you can come and visit us in Thailand, because I'm sure a lot of us would really like to meet you in person.
I love to. I have friends there, and I love Thai food. I think Thailand is still the most liberal world globally, and I think this is an amazing place.
Thank you. And can I just add, I'm from Taiwan. I just want to, so a very happy Taiwanese in Thailand. 你好。OK， 谢谢。
你好，最近有一个朋友，他叫盘古，他是个搞音乐的，他也在台湾待过。他告诉我 ，Thailand is 10 times better than Taiwan.
Thailand. Okay, yes, I've been here 30 years, and I can say yes, it's very nice here. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you.